So let's look evolution in a broad perspective. Why I am telling a broad perspective is because I am telling if this was happened, if this did not happen, but if this was happened. So I hope you're getting my point. So in a group of ladybugs, okay, ladybugs are the small tiny creatures that live on plants or the grass. So majority of them are red. Imagine a colony where majority of the ladybugs are red. So what happens when you imagine crows eat the red bugs because leaves are green. It can see the red bugs very clearly and it directly goes and attacks the red bug. But green bug is safe. So one day there is a variation. A green bug evolves out of a red bug. So what happens is the number of red bugs decline, okay, and the number of green bugs increases. Why is that? Because crows eat all the red bugs and the green bugs are very safe and they are allowed to repopulate the colony. This is known as natural selection. The crow could have eaten green bug also, but the nature selected the red bug to be extincted. So one fine day, there will be no red bugs alive. So this is just a simulation. This is not exact theory or exactly what happened, but this is just to give you an idea of evolution. So there might be some other problems also. So you can see here, again we will take a red bug and in that red bug one blue bug is generated and imagine there are no crows in that area. So one day only these many red blue bugs are there and so many red bugs are there and elephant steps over all the red bugs. So only the blue bugs are remaining. So they go on and repopulate the colony. So this is also a nature selection because you cannot know what is when the elephant comes and stamps on a particular colony, or it could have stamped only the blue section and neglected it completely and the red would have only stayed, and there are so many possibilities in evolution. And also there is one more kind of situation where you don't get these red bugs. Imagine these red bugs don't get any food, so they shrink in size and they are malnourished for few generations. Again, when there is source of nutrition, they come back to their natural size. So this is not really known as evolution. This is just a variation, or it is not a inherited trait. It is an acquired trait. We will study about that in the further slides.
Register today at KLM Institute for free online classes, revisions, doubt clearance, private online and offline classes, Olympiad exams, and win prizes, scholarships, and much more.
Yes, acquired and inherited trait. So people thought that whatever your parents look like now is what you look like, you will look like. But some traits are acquired from the nature after we are born, and some traits are inherited. So to test it, what scientists did was the parents, they took two rats and they cut off its tail and they reproduced. Okay, then their offsprings got a tail, because a tail is your you already have a gene that tells you should have a tail. So this is a acquired, this is not an acquired trait, this is an inherited trait. Okay. So speciation. So what is speciation? It is one set of species converting or evolving into another set of species that I can give you an example. We'll take the ladybug again. So here, I hope you can see the dots. Okay, here is one set of colony, and this set of colony has only red bugs. And due to some birds or insects, a small part, okay, a small part of this red colonies came here. Now these are separated by a river. It cannot go back. It does not know how to swim. This is just a hypothetical situation. Now, a small portion of it turns to blue. Maybe some genetic variation or mutation, I don't know. Then what happens is, these turns out it does, the red bugs do not need more sunlight, and blue bugs can tolerate more sunlight. So one fine day the red bugs completely disappear, and the blue bugs thrive in this region. So if one fine day, if these blue bugs come back to this colony, they won't be similar to the red bugs. They cannot mingle with the red bugs. They cannot reproduce with the red bugs. This is the perfect definition for speciation. The species are a set of organisms which can interbreed between themselves. But now the blue bugs and the red bugs have formed their own species or their own different characters which they need in their lifetime or their geographical area to successfully survive. So evolution and classification. You already have done classification. You know amphibians, lizards, birds, and humans. You also know fishes. We will consider these four organisms now: a frog, a lizard, a bird, and a human. So you can see their limbs. They use their limbs for so many different uses. For example, frog uses its legs for hopping. What does the lizard do? It climbs up and it lands on its legs. It helps, the limbs help in their running, walking, etc. And the birds use their limbs to fly, and two sets of the limb they fly, and two sets of the limbs they hold on to something. And what do we use our limbs for? Two limbs we use for walking, and the four limbs. What are four limbs? Four limbs are our hands. So the four limbs we use it for various purposes. So if you see the structure here, these are very similar to each other. You can see here. You haven't studied the parts of the bones yet, but you can see one long bone here, even here, even here, and even here. And there are two bones here, even here, even here, and even here. And there are separations, okay? Separations in the bones, okay? These are very similar organs, isn't it? So these are known as homologous. So homo refers to same. We'll see the definition of homologous organs. Homologous organs are defined as the organs of different animals that are having a similar structure. So I told how the structures are very similar to each other, but they differ in their functions. So If you see the limbs of the frog and human, they are very similar to each other. But do we use our forelimbs for jumping? We don't. So the function of it is very different, but the structure is very similar. So these are known as homologous organs. For example, you can write it as forelimbs of a bird and a human. So of the bird, why do they use their forelimbs? For flight. We cannot fly. So this is the basic difference. And there are another set of organs known as analogous organs. Those, what does analogous organ is defined as? It is defined as the organs having different uh, structures but perform the same functions. So it has a different function, it has a different structure. The structures are not same, but it performs the same function. So if you see here, the wings of bat and bird is used for flying. The function is same, but the structure is very different. You can see here, it is like a hand of a human, but this is not like a hand of human. They just have hollow bones and they use their lightweight body. But bats use webbed fingers or webbed membranes. They do not have feathers. Bats do not have feathers and birds have feathers. So this is the basic example of what analogous organs are. They are the same function performing organs, but they are different in structure.
Register today at KLM Institute for free online classes, revisions, doubt clearance, private online and offline classes, Olympiad exams, and win prizes, scholarships, and much more.
So let's talk about fossils. So fossils can be defined as remnant impression or trace of an organism of past geologic ages. So you all have seen the Jurassic Park. So that is the Jurassic era. So these are the geological ages that have been preserved and it is in the Earth's crust. So these are found in the Earth's crust. If you dig, and this study of fossils is known as paleontology. You can write it down, and you can see their imprints, or either their imprints or themselves. How these are formed? These are compressed. Okay, these are compressed. Usually, when an organism is buried, it get decomposed. But these are compressed and it is very sterile. No microorganisms come to its rescue or to decompose it. So they leave a clear mark or clear imprint, or their bones are clearly visible. So this is how we get to know a lot of things about our history. This is how we got to know dinosaurs were existent. And this is what is leading evolution in a new light. So one such discovery was human evolution. So God did not create us. We were evolved from apes or primates. Okay. And you can see a variety of races in humans. These whites, blacks, Mongolians, and so on. All these different types of races are not diversified. We are all humans, and this is just the geographic nature what we need in our evolution. So thank you. The cases of COVID is increasing. Please mask up or double mask up and take care. Thank you, students.